is quo, a ruthless organization determined to rule the world. Angry Joe! Against the world! Angry
All right, guys. Sorry for a little bit of 80s-ish music ability there, but we kind of threw this together just to get a nice community event going on. So, make sure I've got the order up here. So it's the first community meeting. We'll kind of have this as you guys want it. We're thinking maybe monthlies or every other month, something like that. Help you guys get to know us and the other commanders and the officers, and help us hear from you, a little bit more direct communication. So right now I've got everyone muted on Skype, so let me unmute them. And we got some nice static going on, so it's always nice. And why don't we go with the commander intros? Legolas.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Legolas Katarn. I've been with the AJSA community since the first day of Joe's reboot. I think that was back in November 2013. And I've been a moderator for pretty much that entire time, but was just promoted to commander, with my job mainly being to oversee the forums and our other community moderators. So, good to have you all here.
Thank you, sir. Bueller. Dushka.
Hey everybody, I'm Doshka17. I am also I joined in when the relaunch occurred. I started just originally was arranging just little Halo 4 events for people on 360, and we worked up to playing on the Xbox One. Since we didn't really have much going on, me and a couple of guys banded together, got it started. I eventually was promoted to game officer, and we got a little more official status, and now I've recently been promoted to commander to try to bring everything up to scale with everything else we have going on in the AJSA with monthly rotation events that you can see in the subforum. And that's about it.
Thank you, sir. With a stick.
I am up next. So, hi everyone, I am with Stick. I am from the PS4 side of it. I started out right when the relaunch came out, like everyone here so far, and I mainly started there basically because with the PS4, not a lot of my friends in real IRL got one, so I was like, oh, I need some more friends. So I went to the PlayStation. I found a little trick with the messaging system there that basically made like a chat room on there, and that's where I kind of got started. I basically got a bunch of AJSA members in the PS4 together. We started doing events and stuff, and after certain things happened, I was approached by both Krager and Damien, and here I am at first as a game officer, and then over the months showing progress, I'm now a commander along with these guys, and I'm proud to be a part of AJSA, and I'm proud that these guys gave me the chance.
Cool, thank you, Stick. So just a quick interlude there. So that was Legolas, Doshka, and With a Stick. They're our newest commanders. Legolas is taking over for Dogfish, who's stepping down due to real life stuff, and we brought up Doshka and With a Stick to help give you console players a little bit more voice in the community at large. Damien?
Hey guys, Damien Rain. Those of you probably have seen me around the forums quite a lot. I'm the server administrator for the 7 Days to Die server, the Space Engineer server. I'm assisting Saldi with the Arma 3 server. You guys will see me probably doing the community spotlights when they do come up, and which I try to do as often as possible, as well as you'll see me in the news section assisting managing Twitch and generally doing a whole bunch of stuff as often as I can to help the community as a whole. And I've been here the whole year as well, so yeah, proud to be part of the AJSA, proud to be with you guys, and there you have it.
Thanks, sir. Seth.
Hey everybody, you may or may not know me. I'm the unofficial games commander. I'm the guy you come to if you want your game supported. I got a section on the forums. If you haven't seen it yet, I'd recommend going over there and take a look at it. Submit any game that you want to get supported, along with Actually, we'll talk a little bit more about that later. But other things that I've done, I was originally guild leader for WildStar, which kind of fell in a little favor. I'm hoping it comes back here pretty soon, and maybe we do more with that. And I'm also trying to get Final Fantasy 14 up and running here pretty soon. So anybody out there wanting to play Final Fantasy 14, come give me a holler. And I'm also the point of contact for Smite and League of Legends, and I do play League of Legends from time to time. Unfortunately, I don't play Smite that much, but I do try to support those guys as much as I can. So I'm on TeamSpeak and the forums pretty often, and you guys are more than welcome to come in TeamSpeak and talk with me anytime you need to. I think that's about it.
Great, thank you, Seth. Dr. Evil.
Hey everyone, this is
Really, dude?
this
Really?
is Dr. Evil. I am one of the members of the council on the AJSA, and besides secretly running everything, I help manage the sort of front page on AJSAgaming.com, as well as being the point of contact for our SOTOR guild and our Guild Wars 2 guild. Hyped both those guilds, and also just generally helping with administrative stuff behind the scenes and trying to keep our Twitch moderators corralled. That's pretty much me.
Awesome, thanks, Doc. Sergeant Rose. Rose.
Hey, yes, I am here. What do you want from me? Yes, so Blurb, I'm a council member. And I am a longtime friend of Joe's. I know originally I hadn't been around very much a while back, like 3-4 years ago, but I served in the Marine Corps for 6 years as an infantry mortarman, and I came back from my third deployment, and Joe was like, yo, dog, you want to start a gaming community? And I was like, sure. So myself, Tons, brought over Dell from another community, and here we are. Yay. Is that blurby enough? All right.
Thanks, Ross. All right, Oda.
Want to start a gaming community?
Good evening. My name's Lord Oda. I have been a council member, I guess, since the beginning of all this. I have been at Joe's side, I suppose you can say, since the Blistered Thumbs days. And Joe and I have covered E3 together. Good friend of mine. And I'm the shadowy person in the background responsible for, all those problems that you hate, like you specifically hate. Yeah, I'm at fault for that. So, feel free to come talk to me about those. Please don't. And, but other than that, I'm mostly corporate advisor, I suppose you could say, a direct link for Joe to a few companies, Activision, Blizzard, that sort of thing. And, yeah, I play MMOs, first-person shooters, and I'm horrible at MOBAs. So, and that's pretty much it.
Thank you, Oda. So he's our official fall guy. So if anyone wants to blame Vi, just blame Oda. Thank you for that.
A professional bad guy. I am a professional bad guy.
Awesome. All right, Kreger.
Aye, they leave the Scotsman to last, don't they? I am Krieger910. I'm a commander in the AJSA, and I've been around since PlanetSide 2 launched, actually. When PlanetSide 2 launched, that's when I started rising up from, hey, I'm some random guy, hi, to commander level. And I've been with the AJSA since then. I am currently in charge of Dota 2, and I will also be in charge of GTA 5 on PC, because I've bought that fucking game 3 times already.
Alrighty, thank you for your spirited blurb. Fox.
Yo.
Wild Fox, that is.
How's it going? I don't do anything here, so hi. Now,
Don't lie.
I am the point of contact for PlanetSide 2, the old leader for PlanetSide 2, now in the hands of Conan. It's still very much alive. I am also working on the servers and setup for the new Minecraft, so keep an eye out for that in the near future.
Awesome, thank you very much. And I'm tons of fun. Like Ross said, long time. Thanks, Doc. Longtime friends of Angry Joe, and and when he wanted to reboot the community, he brought Ross and I on, and so we kind of act as his the word of Joe in the community to help this community stay together, provide an actual service to you guys, play games, and we're in it for the long haul. So we're going to be here a while, and yeah, so we're here for you guys. So that's all the commands. They're all along the top of the screen there. We'll try to improve this process as we continue to do these. For now, this is not too bad, I don't think. At least it puts a forum avatar to a name, so you guys can know who you're dealing with. On from there, we have. I just want to talk a little bit about kind of what we've done so far this year, being only barely into February, and what we hope to accomplish throughout the rest of the year. First things being, if you guys didn't see the article on the 2nd of January, we have a new server host, vLayer. They provide a package that allows us to have a pool of slots that any games they support, we can very quickly spool up a server for you guys to play on, which allows us to better support you guys in the games you want to play. And as can be seen by the fact that we have spooled up quite a number of servers this last month. We have 7 Days to Die, we have CSGO, we have Insurgency, TF2, Chivalry, Space Engineers, Arma 3. And we have room for more. In fact, we have 2 Insurgency servers now. We have a co-op server and a PvP server because it was doing so well. Along with that, we are back here. We are currently on the lookout for those of you that have a passion and leadership skills to lead CSGO and Gary's mod we'd like to add to our repertoire, as we know there are lots of fans out there, including myself, of that particular game and all of its different game modes. We had Officer for CSGO, but real life things got in the way and he had to step down. So in order to provide that for you guys, we have to have someone step up and lead it. We also, I think this is probably, I don't know, controversial is necessarily the right word, but we also will have a AJSA Minecraft server sometime in the near future if Wild Fox ever follows through on that one. I kid. Yeah, so that is the main piece of news on that end. We are constantly looking for new games to support, and we have Seth went through and created a new process for getting you guys the games you guys love supported in the community at whatever level we possibly can. And also, as a note, since this seems to have come up a few times, just because we're using vLayer, and if they don't support your game, does not necessarily mean that we can't do a server, but it will require direct interaction with the command and council staff to find the proper place, proper home for that server for the game if it's not supported by vLayer. Doc, was there anything else, any other bits of news to add to that, or Ross?
I think Damien wanted to talk about his specific servers out of the vLayer package he was running.
Okay, sure.
Okay, hey guys, for those of you that are listening, as I said earlier, we have a Space Engineers server up and running. Try and come on and hang out with us. Be advised that seeing as how Keen Software House loves to update the game every Thursday, the server's constantly changing. We are having some problems with it based on their server code and net code, so just be patient if you want to come play Space Engineers with us. Obviously, the information is in the Space Engineers section of the forums. We do have a 7 Days to Die server up and running. It's nice and it's stable. Wild Fox hangs out there with me and helps out. And so that's up and good and running. We on average 10-15 people playing. I am looking for people to take over officially as game officers for these 2 servers. So if you are into Space Engineers and into 7 Days to Die, and you want to be an admin on the servers and quote be a game officer and sort of run events and do stuff, then let me know in the forums. Damien Rain, same thing in the forums, and we can talk about that. I would prefer members and veterans in good standing that have been big parts of the community. I'm willing to make exceptions if I can't really find anybody. Also, we have an Arma 3 server up and running, and Solituas and I are running weekly events on Arma 3. We're doing Zeus dynamic events every single week on Saturday. So if you guys want to hang out there, please come and join us. Otherwise, we're running Wasteland or Invade and Annex on Armor 3, and eventually we're going to be changing over to doing a little bit more realism stuff, and on average, our events are 10 to 15 people. So if you want to be a moderator or an admin on the Armor 3, talk to Salty2 Wazzer and myself, and we'd love to have you. So those are the servers that I'm running at the moment. Thank you so very much.
Awesome, great, thanks, Damien. And I think Doc, you probably wanted to talk about your new forum section, at least mention it.
Oh yes, thank you for reminding me. So we have opened up a new section of the forums based on, we've got our PC section, we've got our console section, which we've got our 2 new commanders just to oversee. But Joe's been streaming a lot of board games of late, and I'm a big RPG pen and paper fan. So I thought it's only right that we have a sort of place in our forums for people to, post about board games or pen and paper RPG systems that they like to play, and even using things like Roll20 to sort of play online. Get games together and talk about their role-playing adventures or any other role-playing related stuff. So you can find that in the newest subsection of the forums. That's at the very bottom beneath the PC and console sections.
No, by no means a slight to the role-playing and board game community, because I know that Ross and I also play and love board games. So,
Shadowrun.
Shadowrun game.
On from that, we'll have Seth go ahead and kind of walk us through a little bit the new game process, which is still being refined and improved. So this is not necessarily the end of seeing improvements to the process. It's simply a much better than we had previously and what we have currently if you're looking to get a game supported in the AJSA.
Yeah, I mean, it's right now, I mean, things are still changing and everything, but what we're trying to do is make it easier for you guys, and they've essentially put me over it to kind of like give people the push to try and become official games. And it's really simple. You can go on the forums. We have a section of the forums called the official/unofficial game support. You go ahead, you make a post, try to make it as close to the example post as possible, and just supply like who's playing it, some good pros and cons about it, a little bit of info about it, and it'll help me better determine if it's a game that's good for our community. And I mean, at a bare minimum, I could throw your game up into the community game section, and you guys can go in there and show your support in the community game section, which, by the way, if you haven't seen it in TeamSpeak, there is a community game section where it has a list of games that people like to play together. Now, those games don't necessarily have somebody in charge of them, but some of them do. And a perfect example would be the Mountain Blade community. They came to me and said, hey, we want to be supported, and so I threw them up a channel in community games. They used it a lot, and they were constantly active. They were running daily. Now they're sitting in the unofficial games area, and they're making their way up to official status. And any other game can be just like that. All you got to do is just want to, play the game and find somebody who can lead some events, get things up and going. But it all starts with just making a post and get in contact with me, and I'll get you as much help as you need, or as much help as you're willing to help yourself with. Because I'm not going to run the game for you, but I will support it as much as I possibly can.
Great. And do you want to mention a little bit what kind of defines official, unofficial community?
Well, I mean, when it comes to community games, those are games that people have shown interest in. Not all games, we can't support all games. I mean, some games that we can't give servers to. We can't do like any kind of events because they're all, co-op matches or something, and there's no mod ability or anything. Those games they're a little harder to support, but we can throw them up in the community games, and you guys can just have like a chat channel for your game. Now, as it moves up into unofficial games, they get in some cases they get their own servers for event related activities, and then they'll get bigger channels in TeamSpeak. They'll get access to me as their point of contact, being the unofficial games commander, and I'll help get the word out about your game, posting in. We've got a calendar on the forums, articles on the front page for really good events. I could put stuff up in the Steam group for you guys. and we can like blast it out to everybody in the Steam group when we're holding events. And then if you move up to the official status, I mean, you get your own sub forum, and people can post stuff in there about it. You still get all the access to the other stuff, and you also get a point of contact with a new commander that you can work directly with to get your game as much help as possible. I mean, I'm not sure what else you want me to say about it.
No, that's perfect. That was great. And like you said, there's the unofficial game support section that lays it all out. I've been showing you the posts on the forums. You can see right now if you go to that section that kind of lays out the process. Not sure Steph could have made it any easier for you guys besides finding people to play with you. And so far as gaining support. Other than that, that is most of the news and the stuff from us currently. And we're always working on things, and so we hope to have things to announce as time goes on throughout the year. So as long as no one else remembered anything while we started this, I guess we can actually go ahead and move into the Q&A section.
I got one thing me and Wild would like to talk about.
Perfect.
Wild, are you with me?
I am.
Okay. One thing, guys, I don't know how many strategy gamers we have, but Wild and I are Wild Fox and I are very devout strategy gamers, and he and I have been talking a lot about trying to rebuild the strategy game section of the AJSA and trying to actually build up a strategy gaming league. I'd like to, let him go over some of his ideas real quick before we move on, but the general gist is we would like to see strategy gaming become more of a thing within the AJSA, especially with the re-release of Homeworld coming here in just a couple weeks, which I think is going to be huge. I can't wait. I already have it. So, yeah, Wild, if you've got anything you'd like to say about what you and I were talking about for strategy gaming and whatnot. Also, there's Ishwa, or however you say his name, as Commander Seth just reminded me that is trying to get some stuff situated too. But the strategy game section of the forum is where you want to go. Wild, you got anything to add?
Strategy games is part of it's part of AJSA. It's part of gaming culture in general. Why are we not more supportive of it? Come on, guys, it's out there. Come join us.
It sounds like we have two lonely strategy commanders that are looking for more soldiers for their armies.
Yeah, Civilization, Total War, Sins of a Solar Empire. Come on, guys. We've got more strategy games out there that we know what to do with, and they're all great and amazing. So, come talk to us in the strategy game section. Talk to Wild Fox and I. Obviously, Wild and I are not going to be running anything because we, have a lot of stuff on our plate already. But we're trying to find somebody who can do this for us, and we can be their point of contact. So, anybody that wants to help Ishwa and other people in getting these games up and running in these leagues and matches, and we'd even love to live stream them and stuff on AJSA Gaming as well, and maybe eventually do prizes and whatnot if we can. That'll be something to talk about much later. But yeah, come play strategy with us and show the rest of the world that strategy games are still effing awesome. So that's all I got to say.
Seth, looks like you had one last thing to say. No,
I was just trying to communicate. I already know a guy right now. He's been bugging the hell out of me about strategy games, but I didn't know there was an interest amongst the commanders, where I would have totally thrown him and say, hey, go talk to these two guys.
Okay, great. Well, it sounds like we'll get some strategy gaming support soon. And so with that, I think I'm going to throw it to Doc, who's going to curate our questions from you guys. So start throwing
Yeah,
you have to have lightning bolts with the laughter.
Here. I've got a great laugh. What can I say? So you guys in chat, on Twitch chat, we're watching you right now. Go ahead and start typing us some questions to answer. I'll see if I can pick some out and direct them to the right people, or if I can answer them myself. So yeah, we'll just wait for the 20 or so second delay here, and we'll start seeing some questions in there. Anything you want to know about the AGS in general, things you want to see for the next one of these. Yeah, anything we can answer. Kyle99 has a good question about how do you rank up in the AGSA. That's a great question. And then secondary question is, when will console gamers get more events? So I'll do the toss the console thing over to our two console commanders. But on the ranking up thing, I'll talk about whenever you join the AJSA website at ajsagaming.com, or found linked through on Joe's main website. You can sign up for a forum account once you're verified. You have a real email address and you're not a robot. Everyone who signs up is a recruit. Recruits who don't fuck up and are in good standing for about 30 days are automatically promoted to being members. And those members get a new badge icon. They get a corresponding rank icon in the TeamSpeak, and identifies them as members. After that, if you're an active member of the community, 180 days later, as long as you've logged in at some point, you will be automatically promoted from a member to a veteran. And veterans is just what it's saying, that they've been long-term members of this community for at least 180 days. And that's how those are the three basic ranks. The ranks above it are solely based on people stepping up and wanting to lead games or help us moderate the forums, which I think that's sort of the basic thing in terms of how you rank up in the forums. But let me toss that console events question over to our two console commanders. If you guys want to talk about how do people find out about events, and how do you connect with your console community?
I'll go first, Toshka. So for at least the PS4 side, events-wise, since August, we've been doing something called Game Night, where every Saturday at the same time, 5 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific, and like 11 p.m. GMT time, we play. We all get together. We all play a certain game for that week. So, like right now, there's a game night going on as this podcast is going on, and it's for Battlefield 4. Next week is going to be for GTA, and the week after that's going to be Evolve. We've been doing that ever since August, every weekend, pumping them out. It's actually very tiring sometimes. And a lot of background noise from Doshka. And recently we also just announced within our PS4 community that we'll be doing more Destiny raid stuff. Because as much as that's a really big topic and people like to hate it sometimes, it is doing pretty well on the PS4 side. People like at least doing the raids there. And some community member, Argatum Lamb 350, has been doing the raid thing every Sunday since Vault of Glass had dropped. And I thought he should, he's done such hard work for it. I thought that, I should help support it and stuff. To find out where all the information for these two events, you could check the calendars. I update them every month. And if you go down to the PS4 section in the subforum, you'll see a thread that says PlayStation community events, all highlighting every detail about it. As you can see, not in general discussion. Tons.
I was answering a different question, but yeah, go ahead, keep going. I'm following you.
Okay. So yeah, just go into the thread. You'll see PS4 section. It'll say PlayStation community events, and it highlights the different games we'll be doing for that month, the different times for everyone in the areas. If we don't have your time zone, let's say like you're in Aussie, just put a message in there saying like, "Hey, I'd like to know what the time zone is that," and I'll go through and convert it. It's a pain, but I'll go through and convert it for you. And as you can see right now, Tons of Fun's looking at it. He's looking at the game night times. There's a calendar list. There's the Destiny raid information. And that's pretty much it. I mean, that's what we do on the PS4 side. You'll probably start seeing a lot more of these events being broadcast mainstreamed. Mainly, what we do, we communicate them on the forums, and then we have something called the PlayStation Rooms. And in these rooms, it's like a chat system, much like Twitch chat is, as you can see. Someone will post, and someone can reply to it, and it's live for everybody. And that's where the main PS4 community is in those areas, in those two rooms that we have, both with 64 people inside of them, all talking all the time. So, with that, I'll hand it over to Doshka now. I mean, it's pretty much all I can say.
All right. Well, before I want to start, I just want to make sure: is there a feedback coming from my headset, or is it coming out fine?
Not sure. It's fine.
Okay. Well, pretty much how things work on the Xbox side of things is that we have a monthly rotation of games that we host events for on Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays, they, unless things happen to change it up, they always start at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. What determines what those games are going to be is a monthly poll that we've started doing since 2015 started, where about halfway through, like say halfway through January, I put up a poll on the Xbox forum with a list of all the games that allow larger groups of people to play, and basically for the whole rest of the month, everybody votes on what 3 games they would like. And the ones that have the top 3 most votes are the ones that we then arrange into the 3 days for the weekend. And then I have my staff of sergeants that are all hosts for these. Once everything is also decided, we have 2 people that handle our messaging to get things out to the community. We have Shagger AJSA and Native Schnit. All the staff is listed in the community info thread on the forum, which lists myself, all the sergeants for hosting, and Native Schnit, and I actually am missing Shagger off to add him after this. But those 2 are the point of contact in the sense of both of them will, if there's any information that needs to be sent out about any slight changes or just when the schedule's available, you'll either, depending on the alphabetical order of your gamer tag, will either be from Shagger or from Native. And we pretty much just carry on with that until something larger comes along our way. We are making plans behind the scenes for Elder Scrolls Online when that does come around. And I'd say that's about it.
Cool. Thanks, Toshka. Picking up a couple of questions I see here from Mountaho and Backstabu about our stream team, which are very much part of our community here. The first question of how do you know who is part of the official stream team? If you look above this stream you're watching right now, and it says, we're playing a gaming talk show with or on AJSA Gaming. If you click on that second AJSA Gaming, that will take you to our sort of a team page, which has all the currently active official AJSA streamers. Now, the question is, how do you get to join that active streaming list? There is a handy pinned post in the general discussion questions on the forum about how you can apply to be official streamer. We obviously look towards quality and regularity in our streamers. People who want to do this more than just for sort of a side thing. But I guess I can have Damien. Did you want to speak about how people can apply to join part of the stream team?
Sure can. So a couple other things. One of the things that I do is I also help manage the AGSA stream team. And the easiest way to go about becoming an official streaming member is to PM me on the forums. Now, I need specific things from you when you PM me on the forums to become a stream team member. I need a link to a VOD that has not been muted, so that means don't have any copyrighted music on it. That basically just means link me a recording of your live stream so that I can see the quality and how you interact with your audience. You have to be entertaining, obviously. There are some basic requirements. First, you have to be a veteran before we will let you officially on to the stream team. There are some exceptions that have been made. If you're obviously game officers and sergeants or anybody that are particularly running specific games and they want to do live streams for us, we're willing to make some exceptions. But for the average person, you have to be a veteran. You have to be 18 years of age or older. You must be able to stream, as you can see on the post that I made there, at 720p at 30 frames a second. At the very least, you need to be 720 at 30. If you can do higher, great. And then obviously you basically come and do an audition. And I also, I obviously reserve the right to tell you no. And but I will tell you why I'm saying no. I won't just say no, and that's the end of it. I'll tell you to work on your audio, work on your video, work on interacting with your audience, being more entertaining. Give you, any hints, tips, tricks. Tell you, I'm sorry you're too young or you haven't been in the community long enough. So, if you want to do that, give me a shout and we can talk about it. But obviously we have quite a lot of streamers on the team already. So, there's some competition. I've received 3 requests in the last couple days, actually. So, just come stream and hang out and see what Dark Templar. There's a reason I haven't been streaming Dark anyway. So there you go, guys. Yeah.
I see a question here from DeadX2233 about any EU or zone-specific content. It's no lie that obviously being around Joe, we're sort of NA focused, but when the demand happens, we all try to play even with EU when we have the opportunity to play together. So in PlanetSide 2, for example, you have a sort of combined guild. We're not on different servers. But for other games, when the demand is there, and especially the initiative is taken for people in EU or other zones, we fully support branching off of different guilds for different zones. The most prominent example is Guild Wars 2. We have a very fastly growing EU guild that's really large and very active for Guild Wars 2. Even though the North American Guild Wars 2, which is still there and still also run by many folks and has a good attendance, that's been around on Northern Shiver Peak since the beginning. But the EU people said, hey, we want to start up an EU guild, and they took running with it. So if a game, has an EU-specific zone and there's not a good reason why we couldn't play together, then we definitely will be open for supporting that. And just like any other game wanting to be supported, you would just apply to Ceph's unofficial official games thread. Did anyone else want to throw in anything about our sort of zone-specific or EU-specific content?
Yeah, I would. So if you guys feel like there is a lack of EU content, please, 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 please step forward, because the community is about you guys. It's not really about us. We're just here to help you guys play together and keep things running, keep the lights on. So if you want EU content, step up, be a leader, and create that EU guild or the EU, whatever it is you need, and we'll be there to help you get it done.
Aye, it's getting lonely over here being the only EU person.
Well, let me jump in there a little bit. I mean, the biggest issue we do have is the lack of people that want to run things. And, I mean, we have plenty of people that want to play games, but it's really hard to hold an event if nobody is actually going to run the event. Because you can't expect people like me, who don't even play the game that you're wanting to support, to come over and run your event for you. And I kind of see another person posting about, games being supported, and they do get cycled through. I mean, if a game has nobody leading it, and you guys aren't doing anything, then we can't really say it's an official game anymore, because you're not really doing anything with it.
Great.
Well, I also saw another question from Dizzle, who is I believe, a holder of a badass seal of approval in the forums. Just to take note of that. He was asking about what sort of involvement are we going to have in Star Citizen? And I think the person to answer that would be the commander of our Star Citizen guild once the game is launched, Damien.
I have way too many freaking hats. This is why I talked about wanting you guys to run other things so I can pull away and focus solely on Star Citizen when that comes out. I know some people have brought up worrying that I'm doing too much, and obviously I'm not going to be able to focus on Star Citizen, but obviously once we get other officers being able to handle things, I can pull away and focus entirely on Star Citizen. While I'm talking, by the way, please be advised that I'm working from home and I have a child, and you're just going to have to deal with it. She's in the background. As far as what we're going to be doing in Star Citizen, once the FPS module comes out and the social module is out, FPS module should be out hopefully within the next couple of months. I'm saying months because I don't trust pretty much anything that they say timeline-wise, because they've never been able to meet a deadline. I understand why. Once the FPS module comes out, then we are going to transition into actually doing weekly training events and weekly events on Saturdays and Sundays. Doing FPS training, dogfight training, racing events, all kinds of stuff like that once we've got all three modules up and running. And then once we actually get a chance to get into the game fully, and that's probably not going to be obviously till 2016, then the AJSA is going to focus on being a corporation and a private military contractor. If you guys don't know what that is, Google it, PMCs. And basically just sort of doing our own thing. I do intend for us to obviously have a very well thought out chain of command. I can't even. Waynard. Waynard has been helping me a lot with that. He's pretty much my right hand man at the moment. Councilman Mort Raven, who is not with us, is my second command executive officer. So the three of us are going to be getting together to talk about what's going to be happening in Star Citizen once we have the complete game. And that means that we have Squadron 42, all of it, and we have the entirety of the persistent universe running. And that means that we can go and do whatever, whenever. Then we're going to definitely run into the game full tilt, doing our own thing. Obviously, though, supporting the UE, I can't even talk straight or think straight tonight, is a big thing. And I plan to do all kinds of stuff. So I have a background, by the way, in EVE Online. I've been playing EVE since January 2006, probably far too long. And so I've ran several corporations there, and I got a lot of plans for us. So yeah, just stay tuned, guys. Once the FPS module's up and running, you're going to see me pull away from all the stuff that I'm helping with, hopefully when I've got people that can take over for me and focus solely on Star Citizen. Stay tuned for more Eye on the Fleet videos once that stuff comes out. They're on the forums in the Star Citizen section, and if you have any want or desire to help with Star Citizen, please come talk to me, and we'll get rolling. Obviously, we haven't done anything because there's really not a whole lot for us to do at the moment. So just stay tuned at Star Citizen section of the forums and my announcements for when things come out and when we plan to, quote, go live. And we'll have a good time.
Cool. Thanks, Jamie. I saw a question from Titan about how does one become an officer, a game officer for the AJSA, and also this question from Sonic about differences between unofficial and official games, and how do you get a new game to be unofficially supported? Now we talked a bit about this in the sort of middle section of the podcast, but to sum it up, basically the answers are kind of tied together. Is that people who are officers visually step up for the games they enjoy playing, and the way they step up is by leading a rally for the AJSA to play a game and apply for that game to become, at first, an unofficial game in which Seth can see how many people are interested in playing it. We start to build some structure for it on TeamSpeak and the forums. And if there looks like we're getting regular events for those games and enough attention for it, and also the game most hopefully being good, that game can become officially supported, and that's what gets its own separate subforums. That's when we get our own game officers promoted for it. But essentially, we're not just picking a game officer out of the blue. Usually, it's the person who is the most mature and responsible in leading that game. And basically, they'll be acting like an officer even before we officially give them that title by helping organize people do events in it. If Seth or anyone else wanted to add on to qualities or things for officers we're looking for.
I mean, he hit the nail on the head. I mean, when I'm looking at people to promote, I'm not looking at saying, hey, you're now a game officer, here's your job, go do it. It's more like they're already doing the job. You're already out there, you're running events, you're leading your guild, clan, whatever you want to call it in the game. You're doing the job already, and then we just give you the title and the permissions on TeamSpeak and stuff that you need to do your job successfully.
Yep, and I'm going to add one last thing to that, more specifically to the more specific question that Titan asked, and I believe I saw someone else ask, is there a way that like you could be tutored up or like guided, mentored up to becoming a game officer or to meet the kind of criteria we have? And as far as specific criteria, it's mostly, as Doc and Steph said, like it's competency and a desire to have a game supported where you're looking for other people and you're like already kind of building something. So even if you feel like maybe you are not like uber leadership material, but you're like asking people if they want to play and you're making like meeting up with even like 5-10 other people to play the game, like that's a start. And yeah, at that point, just send a PM.
Yeah,
just fucking slam Seth's box, man. PM the shit out of him.
PM me. Like I said, I'm in TeamSpeak almost daily, and my job is to support you. So if you're in there and you're trying to do something, I'm going to sit there, I'm going to notice it, and I'm going to come in and say, hey, how about you try this? How about you try that? Or you can come to me and ask me a question, how do I get more members? I can't figure it out. Or, hey, I'm having problems running these events. They're not that successful. I'll ask what you're doing. I'll try to give you some advice and get you where you need to be. I mean, that's what I'm here for. Use me. Use me to help you.
Well, let's see if we got some other questions here. Yes, it looks like our website's still up for those who are asking. Let's get some more questions to come in here. I know, guys, any sort of topic is up for grabs, not just games, but also the forums as well, if you have any questions about that, or any questions about Stream Team or anything else that we can try to answer.
Actually, I would like to address a couple things I saw smattered in there. They weren't necessarily questions or more a little too specific. So there were a lot of questions about, like, are we going to have servers for this game? Does this game still have a guild? The best thing you can do is if the game was a previously supported game and it has a forum, go to that forum, ask a question. Is X game going to get a server, or is X game going to get support? That's up to you guys. If you want that game to have support and there is something to support, come to us. But with games that don't have they don't offer private servers, they don't offer this, they don't offer this, like, the most we can really offer you in the long run is a sub forum and a TeamSpeak. But that's great because that gives you a place to start building a community, building a team to play this game. So don't be afraid to ask, but also, if you're going to ask, follow it up. Like, be that person that steps forward and follows through with those kind of questions. But I say a lot of questions for these games, are we going to have servers? Most of those games you're asking about don't have servers. Those are games that are only hosted by the central, the game company.
Cool. Let's see, some other questions. Is there going to be a community content YouTube channel from Nikki Zier? Did you want to talk about the AJSA YouTube channel and plans with that?
Well, so Damien and I are trying to produce content for it. We want to try and use it. We would love more than anything, if you look on that same post about streaming or whatever, it also talks about putting content up on the community YouTube channel. And we'd love for you guys, if you're playing games with other AJSAers or you're playing in an official event, to make videos and submit them to go up into the community channel. Most of the content that I plan for that channel, and I believe Damien's relatively on the same page, is going to be a lot more like how-to stuff for you guys, guides, and like community-centered content, not necessarily about games. That kind of content more needs to come from the community at large, and Damien can speak more specifically to that.
There's obviously the same level of quality expected of you to go up on that YouTube channel. We did put out the request for content on the YouTube channel months and months ago, after people had asked us for it, and obviously, like, nobody sent us anything. So this is some of the stuff we've been talking about. If you guys are wondering why we don't have stuff, it's because we're not getting it. We're not getting officers, we're not getting leaders, we're not getting content. So Tons and I are trying to work towards getting stuff up on the YouTube channel. I haven't really been able to myself the last few weeks. I've been really busy, but planning on really getting cracking in February. And Tons and I have been talking about what kind of content we're going to put together. But if you want to see things up on there, either produce it yourself and submit it to us, or ask us for it, and we'll see if we can do it. And feel free to send videos to myself or to Tons. Preferably to Tons, give him stuff to do.
Right.
But yeah, because he doesn't do anything. No, I'm kidding. He does a lot of stuff, lots of stuff. So the YouTube channel is Angry Army Community is the name of the YouTube channel. This is the Angry Army Community. So I think it's like if you do www.youtube.com/angry Angry Army Community. I think that's the one. Can't even. Yeah, it should be there somewhere. Sorry, I can't pull it up at the moment, but that's where the YouTube channel is. We've only got a few subscribers there, obviously, but that's up to us to get content up there. So if you want to have something up there, guys, you've got to submit it to me and to Tons, and obviously he and I both reserve the right to, tell you that it's not doesn't meet our level of quality requirements and tell you no. So don't feel bad if you send us a video and we go, yeah, no, because it's bad quality. So I'm sure Tons can expound upon that a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, same requirements as the streaming 720p at 30. It's relatively easy to do that on today's hardware. If you to help in that regard, if you have questions about the proper way to record videos, to stream, or any of those things, please feel free to message myself, message Damien. I'm sure many on the stream team would be willing to answer questions too if you feel more comfortable talking to them. Just send PM, guys. Don't be afraid. But keep in mind, if your PM is not answered, the people may be busy, and we'll try to get to it as quick as we can. We're running the big picture of everything, and we try to get to. I try to answer PMs as quick as I can, but sometimes it takes a little while. But we definitely want to help you guys, accomplish and get out of this community what you want out of it. But as I think is said forever, you get out of something what you put into it. So, step up, and hey, if you submit a video and it's not quite there, we'll tell you why. We'll help you out. We'll send you, we'll point you towards some tutorial videos or maybe better software or whatever it is, and we'll get you there. So don't be afraid. Give it a shot. The worst thing that can happen is we'll say no, and we'll tell you why. And you're just learning, getting better.
Tons and I both are more than willing to teach you the software that we know. You just gotta put the effort in to go get that software and ask us the questions of what software is best, and we'll give you what we work with and teach you how to do better editing and hopefully But you've got to put Tons and I both put a lot of money into getting good audio and good recording software and stuff that can get good quality. And there's a lot of work into editing videos and making them professional with intros and outros and cuts and all that, and Ton can attest to that. Having recently just got into some new software that I recommended to him. So yeah, make sure you guys are asking us questions. It's the same thing when when you don't see people on TeamSpeak. That's because no one's there. You guys gotta put things into the community so that we can give to you.
Yep, I think that pretty well answers that question, Doc.
Yeah. Let's see. We want to wrap this up in about 8 minutes, you'd say?
Probably so. I saw a couple good questions there. If we caught them.
Yeah, go for it. If you've got one that cuts your eye.
Oh no. I'm just saying I saw some good ones. I'm hoping. Moderator...
Okay. Well, yeah. I spotted some. I know Yomi Unito was asking if can two people lead a game, and I think we certainly have current examples of that. Both right now, Final Fantasy XIV, we've got a 4-person kind of head Hydra kind of running that. I know in the North American Guild Wars 2, we have a sort of dual leadership. Usually, we obviously want to prefer someone step up to sort of be the main person where the we can talk to. But if the game is large enough, or if managing and running events is complex enough, then a sort of dual game lead head can be discussed.
Yeah, I think maybe Ross should chime in there with a little brief on how he set up ESO originally and how that worked out.
With the ESO, it was pretty awesome, actually. Essentially, I took a very similar structure as to how we currently set the gaming community, because having been gaming for quite a while, a couple years, we're pushing on almost 2 decades, right? Actually more. Oh, I guess it's already been 2 decades, yeah. But anyways, like having totalitarian, I don't know how you say that, or like authoritarian leaderships in game communities just never really works. So I took a similar approach that we do with the gaming community. I created a council. We started up a Skype chat specifically for that. I created a Google document where we would put in like things that we want to do, like a to-do list, tasks that have already been completed, what needs to be modified, any comments or concerns that any of the council members or the officers wanted to bring up. We would hold meetings once a week, and pretty much we just made it more to where try to remove like a single point of failure. You never when it comes to stuff like that, you never really want to have like everything fall on one person's shoulders. One, it's too stressful for one person to handle. Anyone who's ever been a guild leader, I know Tons can attest to this too. It sucks when you have a full time job in real life and you got a wife and kids or a husband and kids, whatever you got going on, or just a significant other. It can be overwhelming, and it's real easy for it to all fall apart. So I set up the council, and then I let those council members get their own game officers and sergeants. These are people that I trusted. The council members are the guys that I trusted the most. So I trusted their decisions, their opinions. They're the ones that have like a pulse on the community. They're the ones who actually know what's going on in their guild. So I trusted their judgment. And they would just come to me and ask me to like set up TeamSpeak permissions or get them set up on the forums and whatnot. And then we gave them the ability to moderate their own specific forums, their game specific forum for ESO. And it worked fantastic for a very long time. Unfortunately, ESO itself just did not deliver. So just out of sheer, I guess just from the game not doing so well, the population of that game just went down significantly to the point where, we had to sunset ESO. But as far as actual organizational structure and the time that we did have the members, it was fantastic. I think we pushed well over 300 active for like a month or two before everyone was like, this game isn't as good as they said it was going to be. So is that good? Is kind of what we're looking for? Or, yeah? Okay.
Yeah, probably a little more. That's all right.
Ah! Hey, but yeah, I'm telling you guys right now, pretty much for anything really, that council style structure works. I mean, we do it right here for the whole entire gaming community of thousands, and it will work on that scale. It will work on a smaller scale, and it
Though
works
we
very
still have
well.
a chain of command, though, Ross.
Yes,
So
but I don't know what you mean. That's what I was saying. They had a chain of command. They had their they had the overseers who were like the council members, and then people underneath them.
I spotted a good sort of final question to sort of wrap us up on that we could each sort of answer our own way, or at least I'll twist the question. Nikki, our newest moderator, by the way, had a question about what are our goals for the AJSA in 2015. But perhaps I want to twist that. So what are all of our personal goals here on the command staff with whatever games we run or other aspects of the community we manage? Maybe if we just go around to sort of wrap us up about what we want to see done in 2015. And should we just do... we'll end with Tons, but I'll start.
Well,
and then someone else can speak up.
Do you want to do the intro order since we already have it written down?
Yes, that's a good idea. So why don't we start with Legolas? What are your goals for 2015 for the AJSA?
Well, basically what I'm doing right now is looking to bring in new moderators, keep the forums active, keep the forums, any reports or any problems, make sure that's all handled quickly and in the correct way. That's pretty much what I'm just doing right now with the forums. Cleaning up inactive mods.
Making sure you get our monthly ban quotas in, right?
Right.
Not a thing, by the way.
Wah, wah.
Well, if they're not going to be a thing, I'm going to make it a thing.
There we go.
We're not allowed to make that a thing.
Cool. Doshka, what are your goals for 2015?
Well, I've actually got high hopes for this year for the Xbox One because the last year we were pretty much running with whatever launch games and things were just coming out in the second half of the year. Things that we're just trying to scrape by and get events going with what we have. But we have many awesome things coming out for 2015. A lot of good fighting games that we're hoping to get tournaments going. We've got Killer Instinct, got a good following for that. But Mortal Kombat's a bigger name, so we're hoping we can get something for that going. Our first large-scale game that I'm aware of that's coming up will be ESO, which I given how it went on the PC, I'm still skeptical. Like, we're going to give it some breathing room when it first launches, when we'll all be playing, and we're going to make sure that it works and that it works in a technical fashion as well. But very hopeful to get it'll be one of the first things that we have in the console that allows a very large scale outside of a lobby experience for the console. And other than that, we'll carry on with the monthly rotation with all community voted games every month, and just continue to expand from there.
Cool. I'm gonna put on some very low-level hype outro music as our people sort of talk over about their plans for 2015. So next is With a Stick. What does 2015 you hope hold for the PlayStation 4?
Private militarized furry army. No. Well, we want to continue doing the events. We see that's the most strong thing within the PS4 community. Just keep doing the game nights. Try introducing some more events, like we started picking up the raid events for Destiny. In April, I did hit in the Twitch chat that we'll possibly might be doing a Mortal Kombat tournament. But since Doshka said he's going to be doing one, I'm going to up the ante. We're going to be doing a Street Fighter V tournament as well.
Damn.
Bastard.
With the PC community. And also, a few months back, we had a little bit of trouble with the Final Fantasy XIV, but we're coming back big and strong with the PC community and the PS4 community combined together. So we hope to get that up and going when the new expansion drops. I know I will be in it. I know I will be playing that a bunch because I need my fix until 15 comes out. Until then, same as always, events, and I also saw on the thing about supported games on console. If you, much like everyone else says here, if you could show that you put the work in and that there is enough there, I will look into it. You just gotta come to me with it. You gotta be eager to do it. And that's pretty much it. Excellent.
Damien, in 2015, how many more hats do you plan on putting on?
Absolutely none. I have enough hats as it is. So, but I think the one thing I look forward to the most is just this community getting better. I'm just going to say it. I'm going to be broad spectrum here. Come on TeamSpeak, get on the forums, play games, make friends, do that stuff. That's what I want to see more of. Obviously, for stuff related to me, I need people to take over Star Citizen and 7 Days to Die, so I don't have to worry about it. And if you want to come help me with in the news section, PM me. If you want to get on Twitch, on YouTube, whatever, talk to me, talk to Tons. With strategy games, I hope to see a guy leading that, so Wild Fox and I can sleep at night. As regards to anything else, I look forward to Star Citizen being amazing in 2015, but just, keep being great, be awesome to each other.
Excellent. Seth, your outlook or your hopes for 2015?
Let's see. Well, the obvious aside, I'm trying to get more games supported, so you guys are more than welcome to come chat with me and get the games that you want supported. And then, of course, I'm also trying to get some more transparency for you guys, so you kind of understand the inner workings of the community, and get you guys running yourselves, if at all possible, with a little interaction with us as needed. And then, of course, we'll kind of step in where we need to and help you guys out with the different games that you need help with. But I think that's really all I'm trying to do this year.
Great.
Awesome. I guess that is me next. So my hopes for 2015, I'm definitely wanting to aim for more interconnectivity between our sort of disparate ends of the community here, from our sort of Twitch community to our TeamSpeak to the forums. Hopefully pushing towards more integration and cross-mingling between the two. So hopefully you guys in the Twitch chat right here will give us some feedback on the forums, about what you'd want for the next one of these monthly meetings we do for the community, what the format, what you like or don't like about the format, and, other sort of things that make the community a more cohesive, well-oiled machine. And that would next be Sergeant Ross, for your hopes for 2015.
My hopes. All the hopes? I hope for all the things?
Not that you want to be a pretty princess. Other than that.
That's BS.
He already is.
Well, considering we went through all the commanders already, and they all said pretty much, I think, what kind of like generically goes with everything. Like, I hope we do really well, guys. Like, of course I do. I hope to just be able to continue to have the bandwidth to help support the commanders, so that way we can have a prospering community, huh? Right?
Ooh, well said.
That's it.
You what, mate?
Well said.
You fucking what, mate? Yeah, and hopefully Star Citizen turns out well, because I'm really looking forward to that, and I would totally get my hands into leading some shit in that.
Of course, it's going to turn out well.
I'm not talking about our leadership, but I'm really hoping that Star Citizen turns out well as a game, and really kind of like bolsters this like sense of teamwork and community within our own gaming community. And I'd definitely get my hands in some of that shit if it turns out well. So, yeah.
Great.
Excellent. Our shadowy overlord, Lord Oda.
Yes,
Do you plan on staying in the shadows for 2015, or continue to manipulate things?
For perhaps a couple of weeks, but spurned on by the very unfortunate passing of someone I know everyone here knows, Monty from Rooster Teeth. His family's wishes was that, if people really wanted to honor him, and as a big fan of his work, that they could do something creative to get out there and make something. So I decided to go ahead with that. And so for 2015, I'm going to keep the big part of it a secret, but I went out and ordered a $5,600 computer rig that is going to enable me to do this, to do what I had planned. So look forward to that this year. And I'm actually looking forward to starting up the Overwatch community for this year, and seeing how Overwatch is sort of taken by the community. I know there's a pretty rabid TF2 community that we have in the AJSA right now, and I'm kind of looking to see how Overwatch fits into that. And other than that, I'm looking to live through the year, and I think we all can say that we all like to live through the year. And just basically kind of go from there and see where my big surprise sort of takes things. So we'll see what happens.
Awesome. Oda, that Overwatch thing you're talking about, now that's that paintball system that you can use to track your stats in paintball, right?
Yeah, and it tracks impacts and such like that. And there's that other thing that game Blizzard, I think it was, that they were working on. But no, that paintball thing. Yeah, I would really like an AJSA paintball league. I think that would be awesome.
Actually, I think that would be awesome.
Yes.
Joking aside.
Yeah, it would. It really would be awesome. Unfortunately, we're a pretty far cast net, so it's I think we've got like 5 people in one location. It's like the most we have, so it'd be a little hard to start that league.
Let us hear from Europe, across the pond. Kreger, what are your hopes for 2015?
Beyond Good and Evil 2 gets announced at E3. Besides that, I'm hoping the Dota 2 community can kind of stay stable. Hopefully when a few of these heroes that are completely overpowered right now get nerfed. Hopefully GTA 5 on PC launches without it sucking major balls like 4 did. And, I don't know, maybe hoping that SWTOR comes out with more expansions, because I'm sick and tired of being the only person donating into the guild bank. Also plug in for the SWTOR guild. We are on Jedi Covenant. Come over here and start donating stuff so we can get a big giant Imperial flagship. Motherfuckers.
We are 60% funded to having a guild Star Destroyer. Nice. Shameless plug. Thank you, Craig. Second to last, but not least, Bob Fox.
I'm most certainly the least. Anyway, Minecraft, working on it. Hopefully that'll be finished relatively soon and getting big by the end of 15. That's about it.
Short and simple, alright.
I mean, once that Minecraft server is up, that is going to be Wild Fox's full-time job, having to police people who took blocks out of other people's houses. So, enjoy your free time while it can, Wild Fox.
The rest of it goes with the army, so yeah, not much already.
All right. Well,
and I guess that brings us to Tons.
Yeah. So, I think a lot of what could be said has already been said, but I'll reiterate it anyways. and that in 2015, my hope is to see many, 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 many more of you guys step forward and choose to lead or to start the ball rolling on new games, new ideas, submit feedback. You know, because like I said, we're here for you guys, and we can only give to you or provide to you what you ask of us and what you put into the community as a whole. And just to facilitate that, help the commanders, help you guys, and hopefully we'll have a great 2015, and we'll keep growing and be able to have an even better 2016 and 2017 and on and on and on. And I guess I'll go ahead and wrap it up by saying thanks for coming out, guys. This is the first community podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed it and you got something out of it and got your questions answered. If you didn't get your questions answered, please post on the forums, PM the appropriate parties. If you have game-specific questions, PM the game officers. If you need help, we got our ticket system, the support system. Email ajsagaming@gmail.com. There's tons and tons of places for you guys to get in contact with us. There's really no excuse. If there's something you don't like or a suggestion you have, you can get it to us. You can make it happen. And then I just want to thank all the commanders and council here, and those that are no longer with us for thank you for helping Ross and I keep this community going. And Joe, thanks you as well for having a great first year and hopefully having an even better second year. And that, I guess, is that. If everyone just wants to have a cacophony of goodbyes.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Later.
Post on
That was the worst.
comments of this
That was the
article
worst
on the
Coach
front
Jackson
page
there, whoever
of
that
the meeting.
loading was.
Let us know what you thought of this.
Yeah, so like Doc
Talk
said,
over everybody.
Death to ponies.
like Doc said, if you have comments, please comment on the article. And also this, the VOD, so to speak, of this will be put up on the AJSA community YouTube page for you, anyone who didn't make it. So definitely, if people have questions or wonder what the hell was happening, point them that way. That should go up in the next day or two. And thanks, guys. Let us know how, any suggestions for it, if you enjoyed it. And there'll be a post for... Oh, I'm sorry. Actually, one last thing. For those of you here that are club members, look towards an announcement for the end of the month. We're going to have the first club commander meeting at the end of the month. So look towards the club forum for the specific announcement on what day and time. Anyways, guys, thanks for coming out. That's it. Bye.
Bye, bitches.
Woo! See ya.
Can't say bitches.
I can say bitches if I want to say bitches. I'm Scottish.